And if not, that's okay. I'm gonna try to relax you today with another book video, because it turns out I did read books at the end of last year. I did. Actually, I read a lot of books, I just never reviewed them. But I did make kind of extensive notes. So I thought for today's video it would be fun to look at what my past me was feeling about these books, and if I remember anything at all. Yes, I will probably remember some, because there have been some very good books that are actually my new faves. So let me open up my notes app with my reviews, and I am going to start with a physical copy of Nightbitch. Nightbitch by Yoder. I already talked about this book in one of my hauls, I think, but I finally read it. I love the floppiness. So this was a very good book. I really enjoyed myself reading this. I literally gasped at some points in the story because it's very unhinged. Very unhinged. This is about a young mother who is staying at home with her little boy, and who is was very good. It was about a group of housewives who suspect a man in their community is a vampire. So, and then, yeah, I'm trying not to spoil anything, but it was very good. It was my first horror book of Grady Hendrix, so the horror aspect was not too much for my taste. It was very funny, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. What else? Okay, so I wrote this book is more about housewives being belittled by their husbands and the strength that they have when they believe in themselves and need to protect their children. It was a bit slow in the beginning, but I loved it, and I also liked how the vampire mechanisms worked. Oh yeah, I remember. So the way that the vampire drink blood was different than in any other vampire story that I read, so that was quite interesting and surprising, and I liked that. I also loved the ending, and yeah, this was very good. 10 out of 10 recommend, or 4 out of 5 apparently. I mean, actually, now that I think about it, I would give it 4.5 out of 5 because I really love this. Why did I not give it 5? I don't know. Don't mind me. Anyway, so the next book that I read by Grady Hendrix was my best friend's Exorcism. Just 1 second. Let me see if my Kindle wants to show us the cover. Hello. Okay. This is the cover art. Yeah, you know, the physical copy is very colorful. This is inspired by the 80s, and it's supposed to be like a VHS sleeve. So, yeah, I really loved the cover art, and I loved this book. Like, I gave this book literally 5 out of 5 this time, because the atmosphere and the topics were just so nostalgic to me. This book is about the best friend of the protagonist being possessed by the devil, and a following exorcism is happening. I loved the angsty teenage drama in the 80s aesthetics, and also the horror aspect. I loved everything about it. The friendship storyline between the 2 girls was also very lovely. I cried, but that is nothing new. I Just 1 second, if my Kindle wants to show us. The cover looks like this. The Dry Heart by Natalia Ginzburg. This one was recommended by a fellow ASMRtist on YouTube. It's Mauve ASMR. I love her so much. Like literally one of my favorite ASMRtists. And she's talking about Natalia Ginzburg's books quite a lot. So I wanted to try it out. And yeah, what can I say? It was very, very good. It was short. I read through it in like 1 day. And it read very fluently. Almost like a diary entry of sorts. This book is about a woman married to a man. And she suspects that her husband is cheating on her. And then we can follow her slow internal descent into madness, I guess. So yeah, it was very good. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. What else did I write on here? It's a page turner. Yes. Okay, yeah. It's very good to read if you're in a reading slump because, as I said, it's perfect and short. When I finished it, it left the interesting question in my mind whether this would all never have happened if she would have just left her husband and went on with her life. Yeah, so for me this book is about a person that is thinking too much and not acting upon what she feels she should actually do. And that does not go down very well. Anyways, movie Jimenez just for the summer. It looks like this. I heard a lot of good things about this one online, but unfortunately, like, I read it quite a lot through. I read it like 86% through actually, so I did enjoy it at the beginning. It's about a girl and a boy meeting and dating, of course, but I found that at the end it dragged along a lot, and they just digged into the drama. Like, there was a lot of drama and mental health blockages that the protagonist was going through, and yet they just really emphasized that, and I personally couldn't cope with that. It was just too much, so I stopped. And also there were a few scenes that I felt were fillers to make the book longer. Like, some scenes just did not match. They did not further the plot, so I was like, okay, why is that scene in here, you know? But still, like, it was written very nicely. It was a romance book, what can I say? I gave it 3.5 out of 5, although I did not finish it, obviously. What did I write? Yeah, I literally just wrote what I just said, so yeah, but still, like, please try it out if you like romance, because the writing was good. So these were my books that I read at the end of last year but never reviewed. I hope you enjoyed this. I feel like I cannot talk English anymore. Like, okay, it's late today, but I lost my ability to speak fluently. So I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this somehow. I hope you feel